if you're trying to find yourself as a man, you'll probably look outward in our culture, in society, on YouTube for videos, for, like examples, leadership. And you'll probably try and find some role models. But the thing is, man, like if you do this, you go through stuff, you go through red pill, weightlifting, you just get like masculine things in place and you do some of the work on yourself. But then you're like, I can't help but notice and feel this feels limited. It feels like there's got to be more to it, right? There's got to be like a tier 2 of masculinity. And that's where I would come in. And I would say, yes, dude, there exists much more within masculinity. There's a high consciousness version of masculinity. And it exists here on this channel. I consider myself like, a high consciousness guy. And you might be wondering, like, dude, what does that mean exactly? Like, I'm curious. I want to be like a high consciousness man. Well, the first thing I would say, dude, is this. What do we even mean by high consciousness? Consciousness is the same thing as love or loving awareness. Or, I mean, really, man, consciousness is deep as a motherfucker. Okay, I'm not going to try and explain to you exactly what this mystical infinity is. But for now, equate it with love, yeah? If you're conscious, if you've got high consciousness, you're a loving, aware being, yeah? And a high consciousness man, essentially, man, he's in touch with his consciousness. So he's got all of his masculine qualities. He's got his strength, he's got his courage, he's got his power. But he's also in touch with his spirit. So this is very interesting, man, because you can already tell it's unique. You might have a lot of good men around you, a lot of purposeful, strong, wise, courageous men around you. But when they have consciousness, it's a whole new game, dude. You're like, wow, I mean, this guy's, you might know someone, they might be an incredibly powerful man, but maybe, for example, they don't have a heart. They're just here, Or alternatively, they might be like super impressive. Maybe they've got a sick physique. Or maybe they earn like a lot and they're really like an efficient, admirable guy. Yeah, you look up to them, but they don't have consciousness. They're not aware. Maybe they're not emotionally in touch with themselves. But dude, imagine if you knew a guy who, he's got all the good things that you want and all the good things a man can have, but he's got a powerful spiritual connection. Yeah, you can tell he's connected to reality. He's connected to God. Yeah, he's got a very special relationship and connection and oneness with God. Yeah, and so what we could say a high consciousness man is a man of God. Yeah, but not in a religious sense, man. You know that we're not talking about religion here. We're talking about mysticism and spirituality and consciousness. Yeah, which is far more direct than any kind of belief system you could ever have. So how can you become a high consciousness man? The first thing I would suggest, dude, is that you become an honest motherfucker, yeah? Because all the good men you know, they have honesty. They are honest with you. Yeah, they might be like overly direct sometimes, but in my world, dude, I'm a very kind of like emotionally in touch, emotionally honest. I'm a very emotionally aware guy. I feel my emotions like a motherfucker these days a lot. And I've always been quite emotionally conscious, able to read the emotional temperature of a room, that kind of thing, A great value is compassion, yeah? But notice you can have feminine compassion. You kind of think to yourself when you've had compassion from a woman, and notice that's distinctly different from masculine compassion. Have you ever actually been in the presence of a really compassionate man? There's a different feel to it. Maybe it feels more like you're being held with sort of masculine containment or something. And here's an interesting thing. If you're a guy, can you surrender to that? Can you surrender to that masculine energy? Can you yield to that? Yeah. What's interesting is I'm not sure that too many men would have the consciousness to be able to surrender in that moment, to really feel the compassion of another man, to really accept and be okay with his strength and his power. Really, dude, on a deep level, you know that another man, especially a man with like power, physically, mentally, spiritually, you kind of know that he can kill you, right? You can, when you feel a man's power, you're like, shit, man, you're a powerful guy. And you want to be able to be okay with that. You want to have acceptance of that, man. And you want to be able to be fluid. And here's something crazy as well. If you're a high consciousness man, dude, you can also be compassionate for him. So if you wanted to, you can hold space for him. You can love him. You can like let him cry and you can just be with that. Yeah. Whereas a low consciousness man, or even just a fucking average consciousness man, is not in tune with all of this, man. The subtleties, the energy, the compassion, the consciousness. The average man does not access these higher states of consciousness and just as a baseline, because their diet sucks. They're not working out. They've got no sexual discipline. They don't respect themselves. They've got shit beliefs. Yeah? You want to start to really separate yourself from the average man. And then you want to go a level above that, and then a level above that. And then you want to be like, dude, I want to be a high consciousness man. And you want to be quite mindful as you do this, brother, because yeah, you're going to like increase in value massively. You're going to increase in maturity, in responsibility, all of this good stuff, man. But you've got to like be very mindful of your ego, yeah? Because you will, I'm not kidding, man, you will be of a higher value than fucking everyone, yeah? You've got to be able to hold that. And you've got to just internalize it and embody it, yeah? Really, where this work is leading us to is obviously its deep understanding of these concepts, but it's embodiment. So that means as you're figuring all of this stuff out, dude, and you're working, fucking doing your best to embody this, you know that it's a process of becoming. You know that to fucking be it is to embody it. And that's what you're shooting for. What else do we have, brother? As a high consciousness man, you are able to love other men, particularly those who are more egotistical than you, or are more fragile and insecure, and so they talk a lot more. And you are so secure in yourself that you can love them. Yeah? You don't have to like everyone. That's what I'm learning. You don't have to like, just because you're so unconditionally loving, that doesn't necessarily include liking. Yeah? You'll have meet a bunch of motherfuckers who you don't really like. That's okay, dude. You want to love them though. Yeah? Big difference there. And this value, dude, of selflessness, it's actually really hard to navigate as a man. Because you might notice that the energy of selfishness really pushes you forward. You get a lot more done. You get more for yourself, of course. But you want to notice that part of you will want to drive and and conquer the world and become successful, yeah, and actualize your potential. And that can be quite selfish, yeah. Obviously, if you're really actualizing your potential, you're living into your life purpose, and that life purpose is bigger than you. So you have to be selfless, really. But you might realize, shit, I've got to be a lot more selfless. But as a man, how do you do that? If you have strength, this is going to be just a really basic example, but you can just help people move stuff. If you're emotionally strong, you can help hold stuff for people. You can be a good soundboard. You can just be, completely fucking grounded. And that's a really satisfying thing for people to be around, because people really value strong frame. Now, you might have heard that, term in other contexts, in pickup and red pill and stuff, have a fucking strong frame. Listen, man, some principles are actually really good. You can extrapolate them into different things. One of them is, yes, people love a strong frame because it feels secure, it feels safe. And you can see in your own life that helps women be feminine. That helps them be themselves. That helps them sort of just drop into your world and just kind of dance around and do whatever, but you're just fucking there. Yeah? But the thing is, man, as a high consciousness man, when you're embodying this, there's no ego. You're genuinely really grounded in consciousness. Yeah? There's been times, dude, where I've been on the phone to my buddies or something for fucking hours, like maybe a good hour or two after, longer than I kind of was planning on being on the phone with them. Now, these days I have quite strict boundaries because I speak to people all day long with coaching. But what I noticed is that personally, I have this ability to just listen forever because I can drop into my selfless consciousness, and that is infinite, dude. So the subtle point here, dude, is, do your best to raise your consciousness. I mean, that's going to be what you're going to be doing as a high consciousness man. But definitely make sure it's there for you. Don't just associate yourself, don't imagine yourself as a high consciousness man, but then not be it, So you've got to make sure that you're actually changing your state. How do you change your state? There's so many things to it. I'll just share a few. Okay, number one, Get your basics down. Make sure you're sleeping well. Have a good diet. Eat cleanly, and have discipline throughout your day. Work out, exercise. You don't have to be a fucking Hulk, but just take care of yourself, man. Yeah, get your basic shit in order. If it's not, that's the fucking first thing you should be doing. Next, spiritual practice, meditation, contemplation, yoga, breath work. Few fundamentals for you, man. Get these in order. Do them for like 3 years and see this difference in your state. And then the third thing that you could do is to just purify your entire mind and body. Yeah, this might sound similar to 1 and 2 with, getting your stuff in order and then also doing spiritual practice, because that is purifying you. This number 3, it's a level above what most people do. People might do like detoxes and stuff, or they might stop watching Netflix or something like that, man. But listen, it actually goes way deeper than this, brother. Because when we're doing this work and we're becoming a high consciousness man, we're actually purifying the soul. Yeah, most people don't really know what the soul is. What the fuck is the soul? For us, for understanding here, imagine your soul is the same thing as your consciousness, or it's your higher self. Again, we can really just use these synonymously. Yeah, but how do we purify this part of you? What I would recommend, which really helped me out, is to purify yourself fully. You've got to go beyond your culture. You've got to start hanging out with different people. I say hanging out with different people. Really, you've got to drop a lot of people, man. Like probably all of them. Yeah, that might sound a bit radical, but it's true. What else can you do? It's stopping a lot of bullshit that your culture's fed you. Yeah, so I'll mention a few things that I did just in case it helps. So you want to stop watching all horror films because that messes with your soul. You might really be into them, but honestly, man, just fuck them, okay? Next thing is you want to, if you can, stop drinking alcohol. Yeah, that's massively influenced by your culture. Yeah, all your fucking friends will be drinking and the people that you used to know will be drinking, not you. Now, you might want to take your time with this, man. We can do whole videos on this, yeah, because it's huge. It's massively, steeped into our culture. But remove that, you'll find your soul emerges. The next thing is smoking, both cigarettes and weed. So this is an interesting one, man. I've got a very, very nuanced perspective on weed. I could do a whole video on it. For today, moderate the fuck out of it, yeah? So don't do it too often. Keep yourself sharp. Keep yourself pure, yeah? You don't really want to have a fucking hazy mind. Also, don't watch the fucking news, dude. Quit casual sex. Get off social media. You might hear these things a lot, dude. Listen, they're coming from a different place. When I'm sharing them, you must understand I only share stuff that I've personally verified, that I've done. We're purifying, yeah? That will mean removing a lot of the shit. The stuff that you think is normal, dude, it's not normal. Okay, maybe it's normal, but it's not what you want, yeah? I could be sharing here suggestions on how to become more of a man. But I'm not doing that. I'm doing something subtly different. I'm enrolling you into the possibility of becoming a high consciousness man. Find me other men who do this. You won't find them. You might find a few, and that's great. Fucking learn from them, respect them. But understand this is slightly different. You've got to hear things from a slightly different place. You've got to be really curious. You're like, shit, man, I haven't thought about this. But what does life look like if I become this high consciousness guy? What about a fucking sage? What about a masculine, wise being? I want you to seriously be open to the fact that you can become this. Understand, you can't really be shooting for anything higher here in terms of being a man. What you've got to do, brother, is you've got to forge your own path. You can't do that authentically if you're listening to Andrew Tate. Now, I'm not going to shit on the guy because there's wisdom in everything. That he will share some wisdom, and you can hear that, yeah, and you can take that. It's unwise for us to just say, oh, fuck that guy, he's not wise. Fuck that guy, he's not conscious. Fuck that guy, he's not spiritual. That's not conscious at all. That's coming from below. That's dismissing stuff, yeah? A high consciousness man sees value in everything. He doesn't really compete either in that kind of stereotypical way. No, he creates. He collaborates. He works with other men who are conscious. Yeah, they create conscious things. Consciousness, a big thing, is about creation, dude. Because consciousness is nothing and everything at the same time. So out of it, you can make anything. And if you're a man with purpose, then you can fucking make anything, dude. If you get in touch with your masculine energy and that healthy flow of yes, of fuck yes, then dude, you can create anything. You can be a powerful creator and you won't have an ego because you're not competing with anyone. You're the only fucking guy, man. It's just you. And the final thing I want to end on is this, and this is massive, okay? Most fucking male, masculine figures and content that you'll see and you'll take in will emphasize stuff like stoicism and groundedness and shit, yeah? That's all well and good. You can do that. I fucking read the Way of the Superior Man and all the Stoics and all the fucking Ryan Holiday's work and stuff. You can do stoicism for a bit if you want to. But really, man, it's this. If you just try and be stoic, you'll develop a shadow because you'll be far too limited and like two-dimensional with that approach. Like, I'm not shitting on stoicism, man. That's really good. I love that philosophy. But you've got to understand, to be a high consciousness man, you've got to have the courage, which is our next value, by the way, man, courage, to explore yourself. And when you explore yourself, you're going to find some fucking weird shit, brother. You're going to find all kinds of things. You're even going to find feminine in you. And the average guy doesn't really know what the fuck to do with that. They'll push it away. They won't really go near it because it feels vulnerable. Brother, when you're a high consciousness man, you will move into it. You would have very deliberately moved into the feminine. Practice compassion, practice empathy, practice being sensitive, practice receiving. Can you receive love? Can you receive energy? Yeah, that's a huge thing for some guys, man. Some guys can't do that. Have the courage, brother, to feel this, to sit with it, to explore it, and to be like, oh no, this is part of me. I'm not just going to be fucking stoic all the time and perfectly grounded. No, brother, that's fucking bullshit. Go within, feel your fucking feminine. A man, a high conscious man, ready, is integrated. That means he's looked at his feminine. He's been with his feminine. This is what's up, dude. Can you see that this is the direction? It's not about being a fucking Andrew Tate replica. It's not even about being like a successful man or a kind of entrepreneur man that you might see fucking Tristan Tate, right? It's about being an elevated, high consciousness man with integrity, with love, with consciousness, with authenticity. All these good things, bro. So to finish up, hear this. Reorient yourself. Drop a bunch of the stuff that you were taking in. Refine the content that you consume. Take in more pure, masculine, high consciousness content. And you might not find stuff like that. Then keep watching this channel, bro. We're fucking going to amazing places with this work. You're going to become such a conscious man. People are going to compliment you because you're so in touch with your spirituality. And that's rare for a man. Yeah? To be able to do it in a grounded, authentic, non-naive way that's fucking real. That's what I look up to, man. That's what I would be proud of. I encourage you to do the same. My brother, we're going to wrap things up there. If you want any support from me personally, I offer coaching and mentoring. If that interests you, brother, you can book a call with me. You can see the link in the description to do so. My friend, lots of love. Take care. And as always, man, peace.